did yesterday. Good morning once again. Boys, good morning once again.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Now, we are going to see today that when we are refining petroleum in the refineries, what are the problems that we are facing? I repeat again. When we are refining the crude petroleum in the refineries, what are the problems that is being faced? Let's do one by one. Please, one of you start reading, Beta. Hello, please start reading, Beta.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Beta. Start reading.
Upon reaction of petroleum products usage leads to dust nuisance, accidents about tunnels, sometimes damaging infrastructure.
Infrastructure.
infrastructure. infrastructure. Coal-fired power plants shorten nearly 24,000 lives a year.
Lives.
In
Lives.
lives a year in the US, including 2,800 from lung cancer. Coal-fired power plants emit mercury, selenium, and
Arsenic.
arsenic, which are harmful to human health and the environment. Release of carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas, which
Don't
cause
repeat.
climate
Sunraj,
change and yes, ma'am.
don't repeat.
Okay. Cause climate change and global warming, according to the IPCC. Coal is the largest contributor to the human-made increase of CO2 in the car.
Air. Beta, not car. In the air. Now, when you are refining the petroleum, the crude petroleum to get the useful byproducts, and I showed you all the byproducts that we get from the petroleum refinery. Along with it, pollution is taking place, isn't it, Beta? First is dust nuisance. So when you're refining the petroleum, you get dust, lots of dust, yes, and then you are, see, it's all making the tunnels, isn't it? Under the earth, you're making tunnels. Sometimes what is happening that there may be pipelines under, there may be water, what do you call this, water level, all these things are disturbed under the earth. The power plants which are running on coal, what are the power plants from where you get the electricity? I repeat again, the power plants are the structure from where you get electricity. Now this you get it from either burning coal or you get it from the, that's called thermal, or you get it from the water, that is called hydroelectric. Now we are going to talk about only coal-fired power plants, which is run on, this is called as thermal power station, which is only, which is run only on coal. So that is what it's doing. It is reducing the lives of 24,000 people in a year in the US. That means if I can live for 70 years, I will die in 50 years. Is it understandable to all of you? It is shortening the life. Use of coal is shortening the life of an average human being. Do you understand?
Yes.
Secondly, some of the people will have lung cancer due to the particles of coal because they are inhaling it. So the lungs will get dead, will become dead. What is lung cancer? What is cancer? Either it is a, uh, like multiplication of cells abnormally, that is cancer, and then it spreads in your body. Some of the cancer are localized, so you can remove it. That is called benign tumor. And the malign tumor is malignant tumor, which you cannot remove it because it has always spread throughout your body. So people in US suffered due to lung cancer, and also they died prematurely. Before time they died. The other problem is that why people are having lung cancer is that this coal power plants, the power plants which is using coal for burning purpose, is liberating mercury, selenium, arsenic, which are very poisonous to human being as well as environment. And that when you inhale it, it leads to lung cancer. Also, whenever you are burning coal, what is released, beta? What is released? Carbon dioxide. And we also know that this is one of the greenhouse gas because it is raising the temperature. It is raising the temperature of the environment. So hence it is called as a greenhouse gas, which has changed the climate as well as induced global warming. The complete globe, the complete earth has become warm due to the release of carbon dioxide, non-stop release of carbon dioxide. Now, we know that the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is just only due to coal combustion because we are using coal in a huge amount. And who is burning it? Human beings. So who is responsible? Human beings. Understood? Understood, beta?
Yes.
Hello? You see hazards. Hazards means disadvantages involved in the processing of petroleum products. That means when you are put crude petroleum in the refinery, what are the problems that one can face? Start. Start with it. Start reading better. Hello?
Ma'am, I read
Yeah, sure, better.
oil extractor is
Fraction.
mostly and something. मैम ये वाला क्या है
Environmentally.
environment
Environmentally. Just a moment. Just a moment. Who is reading better right now? Break it. Environmentally. Break it into two and make it simple. Say environmentally.
environment
Mentally. Environmentally.
environment damaging allowed
Although
for Dr. John Hunt of the Woods Hall
Coal.
on oxide
Beta, you have to work hard, please. Work hard in
oceanographic
reading.
occurring
Oceanographic institution pointed out.
in,
Are you practicing at home? I don't think so. Are you practicing at home?
institute pointed out a 1981 paper that over 70% of the rivers in the world are excluded visible macro
Leave it, Beta. Leave it, Beta, please. I'm
seabed
not able to
and
understand. No, I'm not able to understand you, Beta. This is not the way to leave a
many oil.
class. No, leave it, Beta,
मैं
leave
अभी
it.
तो रीड किया पूरा रीड किया
I know, but the way you read was not okay. I'm not able to understand. I allowed you to complete it so that you got a chance, but I'm not able to understand it, Beta. I asked you a question. Are you practicing at home for reading purpose? No, you're not practicing at home, isn't it, Beta? Say answer. Answer me. Are you practicing at home, Beta?
My mother is left.
He's left. Okay. When he comes, please inform him what are questions I'm asking. I'm not able to follow him. There's a problem, Beta. If I cannot follow him, how can you follow him then? Were you able to understand what he was saying?
No, ma'am.
That is the problem. So I want him to improve. So he can only do it when he practices at home, right, Beta? And then I want every
Yes, ma'am.
day, I will give him one slide every day. But he has to practice it. Has he come back? Has he come back?
No, ma'am.
So when he comes back, let me know. Okay? One of you
Okay.
start reading. Make it fast, but I want to finish this chapter today. Make it fast. Hello. Hello. Beta, read.
Okay, ma'am. Extraction. Oil. Read, ma'am.
You read, Sunja.
Okay. Oil extraction is costly and sometimes environmentally damaging. Author Dr. John Hurt of the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institutions pointed uh, out a 1981 paper that over 70% of the
Yes.
reservoirs in the world are associated with visible
Associated.
associated with visible microseepages. Many oil fields are found due to natural sweeps uh, offshore ex-
Exploration.
exploration and extraction of oil disturbs the surrounding marine environment.
Still you need practice, Sanraj. Sanraj,
Yes.
is that you?
Yeah.
Yes. So you also need still practice. It's not that you will stop it. You're still faltering, you're still waiting, you're still breaking in between. Don't do that. I need still more fluency, and that is only possible when you keep on practicing. Okay, for 5 minutes you have to read every day. Now, this extraction of oil is very expensive and it damages the environment also. Now, according to John Hunt, who is a person from the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, in his 1981 paper, he pointed out that 70% of the reserves in the world okay, is actually the seepage. You know what is the meaning of seepage? The water seeps inside the earth and we get the water level. Same way they are saying that there is a maybe a pocket of petroleum under the earth and it is seeping on the sides. And this oil fields are generally found due to natural seeps. That means it is trickling down. We have offshore exploration. What is offshore? Offshore means on the beaches of the sea. And when you are doing offshore exploration, obviously, when you are removing the oil, it is disturbing the marine environment. You understand? The fishes, the organisms, the plants, all are affected by the extraction of oil from the offshore. Okay? Okay, beta? Now, what are the other problems during the processing of petroleum products, beta? You will read
I read
music.
Sheikh Sufyan.
Read it, beta.
Crude oil and refined fuel spills from tanker ship accidents have damaged natural ecosystems in Alaska and Galapagos Islands, France, and many other places. The quantity of oil spilled during accidents has ranged from a few hundred tons to
Yes. Sounds good.
several hundred tons.
Thousand,
Example,
beta. Several hundred
thousand
thousand tons.
700,000 tons. Example, Atlantic Empress Amoco carries smaller spills have already proven to have a quick impact on ecosystems such as the Exxon Valdez oil spill.
Thank you. Now, as the word suggests, oil spills, that means what is spilling? Falling. Spills means by accidental it fell down and it has spreaded. That is called a spill. The crude oil, that is the petroleum. And the refined fuel. What is refined fuel? That is the pure form of the petroleum. Is this clear? Crude oil goes to refinery and from the refinery, what comes? Refined oil. Is this clear? Boys, is this clear? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in the paper, sometime you come across there is an accident, ship is sinking, ship caught fire, or there is some accident, the oil came out of the ship. Have you heard of all these things anytime? Hello?
Yes.
Yes? So, these are the accidents which happen on the sea. So, what it does, it damages the natural ecosystems. What is the natural ecosystem? The natural ecosystem is the system where the marine plants and animals live together in harmony without any problem. But all these accidents is creating problem. And what happens later? The animals die, the fishes die, the birds die. You understand? So if the fishes, animals, and the birds die, the link is gone, the food chain is gone, and it creates a lots of problem in that particular ecosystem. Who is the creator of that problem, beta? We. Who is the creator? Human beings. Okay, we should take care now. We should take care of the responsibility of the lives of even the planktons, even the small microorganisms. We should take care of those organisms around us. Now, What is happening actually during accidents? Oil is spilled. So you know that oil is lighter than water. So what happens if this is water? So oil makes a layer on water. Am I right, beta? Hello, can you hear me? Boys, can you
Yes.
hear me? So give me an answer. I'm repeatedly asking you again and again, beta. So if it makes a layer on the water, what happens? The fish, the animals, the birds which comes over there on top, they will die. Why? Because the layer of oil is not allowing the oxygen to mix with water. Is this clear?
Yes.
They will die. Can they live with oxygen, beta? No.
Uh,
You understand what I'm saying? Because oxygen is not able to mix with water. And these animals, when there's a layer of oil, the animals which are staying over there will die because they will get suffocated. Also, this oil will cover their body. This oil will cover their body better. You understand? So there will be a layer of oil on their body. They will not be able to breathe because it will go in their gills. The fins will not pedal. The fins will be stuck to the body because of the oil. Hope you understand what I'm saying. So that's going to affect the lives of the marine environment. So how much oil is spilled? You know that the range could be few hundred tons to 100,000 tons of oil can come out of the tanker and can form a spill all around it. Okay, so there's a huge impact on the ecosystems, and so many uh, organisms get affected, rather in a lethal manner. That means they get killed also in the process.
Oil spills at sea are generally much more Oil spills at sea are generally much more damaging than those on land, since they can spread for hundreds of nautical miles in a thin oil slick which can cover beaches with a thin coating of oil. This can kill seabirds, mammals, shellfish, and other organisms it holds. Oil spills on land are more readily containable if a makeshift earth dam can be rapidly bulldozed around the spill site before most of the oil escapes and land animals can avoid the oil more easily.
What is a comparison that oil spills at sea is more dangerous than oil spills on land? Yes or no? Is it yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, right? So what happens at sea? It is more damaging as compared to land. Why? Because obviously the oil spreads fast on water, isn't it? It just spreads fast on water and it could spread for hundreds of. What is the distance? How do you cover the distance in water? In sea, it is nautical miles. How we do it on land, we call it as kilometers, meters.
Nautical mines means
That is what I'm telling you. You just came in between. I'm just telling you what is nautical miles. It is a distance to cover. It is the unit by which we cover a distance in water. You understand? Whereas we use as kilometers, miles on land, we use nautical miles in water. Is this clear?
yes.
Yes. As we do it kilometer and miles, we do nautical miles in water. Now, thin oil slick. The slick is what? It's a cover. Now that can also come on beaches. Remember that. It can also affect the beaches by putting a thin coating of oil. You cannot make out, but there will be a thin coating of oil. So it can affect the beaches as well as the animals which are residing on the beaches. It can kill it. Now this slick can kill the seabirds, the sea mammals, the shellfish. Shellfish means the one which has got a cover. For example, snails, oysters. Do you understand, beta? Oysters, you know? Hello? Yes? Clams, mussels, all these fish which has got the
Yes.
shell of calcium carbonate. So these animals can be killed, and wherever you get the coating of oil, all the organism will die. Whereas the oil spills on land, you can contain it. It will not spread. Okay? And you can even control it. For example, the land animals. If the land animals come to know that yes, this is oil is being spilled, they can move from there. They can avoid the spill and go to some other places. So they may not be harmed. That is what I mean. Whereas marine, most of the animals will be killed. Eat better. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Please read.
Okay, ma'am. Control of oil spills is difficult, requires and has methods.
Hoc methods. Read it again.
Mm,
These are new words you are getting, beta.
methods.
What is ad hoc?
And
Temporary.
yes,
What is ad hoc, beta? Temporary. It is not
temporary
permanent. It is a temporary method.
and
These are the new
often a
words. What do you
large
say?
amount.
Write down all these words in your diary with the meaning. This is what you have learned today. Make it a point, beta. Why do I have to tell you again and again? Is this clear? And how do you pronounce? You write it in Gujarati. So it becomes easy for you to remember. Yes, beta. All of you, please write down new words and learn. That's how you will improve your vocabulary. Yes? Begin, beta. Hello.
Read, ma'am.
Continue, beta.
And often a large amount of manpower. The dropping of bombs and incendiary device from aircraft on the Torrey Canyon weak produce poor results. Modern techniques would include
Techniques, beta.
pumping
It is
techniques,
techniques,
sorry,
modern
will
techniques.
include pumping the oil from the rig, like
Back.
in the prestige oil spill on the Erika oil spill.
Now, main is fine. Oil spills are happening. Now, that is creating a havoc, right? It is creating problems. So, what is to be done to stop the problems? What is to be done? Okay? To stop the problems. What do you have to do? You have to control. What do we have to do, beta? We have to control the oil spill. That means this sort of accident should not happen. So temporary methods, make temporary methods. And we need many people. Manpower means many people to work on this
Yes.
aspect. For example, the techniques that we are going to use, the modern techniques, maybe, for example, there's a wreck. Wreck means the ship broke, ship accident. It is called as wreck. Is it clear? There's a ship accident, right, beta? And there's a lot of oil in it. So what we can do? We can pump. What we can do? We will take another tanker over there, empty tanker, to that place, and we will pump out the oil. What we will do? Pump the oil from the accidental tanker, and from there we will uh, take out, or you know in the other tanker we fill the other tanker, and so that the spill will be reduced, the oil spill will be reduced. There will be spill, no doubt about it, because obviously wherever there is a break, the oil will come out on the sea, but the amount will be reduced to a large extent, and hence we can control uh, the harm, the danger to the marine ecosystem, as well as so much of expensive, so much of important fossil resources will be saved. Is this clear? Is this clear,
Yes.
boys? Yes? So what is the conclusion of this chapter? Let's see. And you tell me the meaning of this. This is the last slide. This is the last slide bit of lesson number 5. We have come to the close of this chapter. I hope you have understood it nicely, Bita. Yes? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me or not? Can you hear me?
Yes. Read, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Conclusion. Both coal and petroleum are non-renewable sources of energy. We should decrease the intake of these sources. There is a need to bring cheap, less expensive technology for production of today in a production of energy to meet our energy demands today. Also, there is a need to make use of petroleum products more efficiently.
Efficiently, efficient. Can you explain better? Can you explain?
No,
No. Can anyone explain better? Sufyan? All of you, one by one, you can take one sentence and explain if possible, because this is the last slide, and this is a summary. What they are trying to convey, that is what you have to tell me. Can you give it a try, better? I'll give you 2 minutes, think over and give me the answer. Sahil? Hello? Guys, can you hear me better? As this is the last slide, I wish you to take
yes,
up.
ma'am. Here, ma'am, the both
No, don't read it. Don't read it, please. You have read it once. And I want you to express in your own words. What are non-renewable sources of energy? which is used once cannot be used again. Yes? So which are the non-renewable sources of energy? We know that is coal and petroleum.
Yes.
So what we should do? What we should do now? We should use it properly,
Yes.
judiciously, and we should not waste it. Right, beta?
Hmm.
Yes? So what is the next step in future? That now there should be one alternative, that we should look for a cheap technology, less expensive technology to get energy to meet the demand of the growing population. Yes or no? Yes? And also, we are already using petroleum products. Now, how to use it? To use it more efficiently. What does that mean? That there should not be any wastage. There should not be any wastage of the petroleum byproducts. What you get from the refinery, whatever material you get from the petroleum, even those byproducts should not be wasted. Is this clear?
Yes.
That was it. That is what you had to say. I
Yes.
think we have come to a close of today's chapter, and I pray that you have understood to your maximum. Yes? Have you understood this chapter nicely, beta?
No.
Yes.
Yes?
No.
Who is this? Who is singing a song? Okay, then we say goodbye to each other. Meet you on Monday. Okay, beta?
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, beta.
Have a nice day. Bye. Take care.